Brussels demands immediate end to golden visa programs. When I say Brussels, I'm talking about the EU. It's going against their member countries. And I put in some prior videos where the EU is going against Bulgaria, Cyprus, and Malta on their programs. On these were citizenship by investment programs. Now the EU is, they're going even further, and they're trying to hit on the residency by investment programs, not just the citizenship by investment programs. The residency by investment programs are programs that you go in, you invest to get residency, not necessarily citizenship. If you're there for many years and you learn the language in that country, then you can apply for citizenship. It's the option to apply. Doesn't mean you're going to get the passport. They don't even like that. And they're going against Portugal now. So, you can see what's going to happen. They're going to try to wipe out all of the EU residency by investment programs. And, this is, they think that the only people that are getting involved in these programs are criminals, and they're just trying to wipe the program out. And what's going to happen is they're going to lose a lot of business because those people just go to St. Kitts and the other Caribbean countries to get their passports. But it's stated here that Brussels today is demanding that EU member states immediately end golden visa programs that give applicants European residency and or citizenship. And in this video today, I'm going to go into more detail on how this works and what you can do to counteract this. Also, if you get a chance, if you will hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen here, you'll get new videos as they come out automatically. And number two is I'd like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below. And number three is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit the top button that says apply with us. You'll get questions and then answer those, send that, and then hit that bottom button that says send it to us. And we'll get back with you to see what we can solve, whatever problem it is, whether you want a second passport, you want to get your taxes to zero, whatever it is. Okay, let's go over this and how it's going to work. The reason is that this came out too, by the way, in the Portugal Resident newspaper, and it stated here the reason is that after years in which warnings have been sounded by NGOs and lone voices against corruption, MEPs recognize these schemes enable a rapid entry of criminals into the bloc. I mean, this is ridiculous. They think the only people that are getting these residency by investment and citizenship by investment are criminals. I don't have any person that I know that's ever applied that we've taken in that. I did have a guy that got revoked after he got his citizenship, but other than that one person, in 11 years, I don't know if anybody we haven't had anybody rejected or anybody who that I thought could not get the passport because of criminal acts, but they're just shooting their own foot by doing this. But it says that a statement released by the European Parliament that EU citizenship cannot be marketed as a commodity, but that is, of course, what is happening in Portugal's case since they came out with a residency by investment program in 2012. But they stated here that admittedly, Portugal doesn't confer golden visa applicants with citizenship. It simply gives them residency and the ability to travel unimpeded to European countries. A huge stink about the caliber of people afforded Portugal or Portuguese golden visas have been raised over the last 8 years. But the reality is that if this country didn't operate the scheme that has seen billions of euros in terms of investment pour into their country, applicants would just simply go other places. Countries like Malta, Bulgaria, Cyprus have been falling over themselves and, losing their right to offer these programs and giving these people successful citizenships. And, it's stated here that Portugal has stopped short of citizenship, and the residencies often need to be renewed annually, but still failings in the way these visas have been handed out have been coming thick and fast. It said that reports today that the regime is due to be suspended for the areas of Lisbon and Porto by the end of 2020, largely because both areas have been saturated by investment that has driven up property prices, irrevocably changing the face of communities. Whether the European Parliament's demands will be heard here remains to be seen. Explain reports, golden visas. Investment has fallen 10% during the pandemic, but has still been largely lucrative, bringing in investment almost exclusively in property, 43.5 million euros. And that's just the tally to the end of September 2020. There were 993 golden visas were issued in Portugal between January and September. Main beneficiaries being people from China, Brazil, and the United States. Okay, now I've told you this before that if I had to tell you based on my experience, I would tell you don't get a European residency by investment or citizenship by investment. I've gone through many reasons in the other videos. The residency by investment programs, you're going to have to learn a language, number one. You're going to have to be there for years before you can apply. Not get the passport, but apply to get it. And maybe you'll get it, maybe you don't. But this is the problem that I've mentioned to people. It's just a matter of time. The EU is going to be coming out, I have no doubt, with a taxation based on citizenship like the United States has. Then, if you get the passport and you leave the country, it doesn't make any difference if you've left, because if they tax you based on citizenship like the U.S. does, you still have to file your taxes, and you have to pay taxes whether you live in that country or not. So the way to get around that is don't get the passport to begin with. Now, let's say you do get the passport and they do make that change in the laws. The problem with that is if you want to get out of the citizenship, you would have to relinquish it. And to do that, more than likely, if they come in with a taxation based on citizenship, they will throw you in a tax trap. Okay, and the U.S. has done this for years. Every time they made a change, they seem to they wouldn't grandfather you in the tax trap. You were already in it. In other words, like in the U.S., you have to pay about $2,300 per person just to relinquish through the passport offices. That doesn't include the penalties and stuff that you're going to pay in capital gains taxes on assets, depending on what your assets are. And it could be any figure they want. And I'll tell you something too, with the interest rates where they are right now, we've got some really bad years ahead of us because interest rates run in correlation, or actually in opposite direction than the stock market. And interest rates have no place to go but up because they've hit zero. And so if it goes up, and the stock market tanks, and I'm talking about tanking big because interest rate, it doesn't take but interest rates going up a little bit, the stock market can die a huge amount. And quantitative easing is pretty much has stopped, or is very limited from this point forwards. So what you're going to see is if there's a lot of problems in the stock market and people are not making money in stocks, and if they're not making money in stocks, they're not paying a lot in taxes, then Europe and other places are going to have to come up with ways to raise for tax money. And the easiest way to do it is to go after wealthy people who've left their country, that are escaping all their taxes with a citizenship taxation. That's what I'm telling you. When you get a second passport, stick with countries that have good visa-free travel, number one. Number two is go to countries that have either a pure tax haven status or territorial tax system. These are conservative countries that are not going to be socialistic. And your risk factors of them coming out with a taxation based on citizenship is very, very remote, okay? This is the easiest way to try to prevent problems in the future. If you got further questions, just put a comment or question below, and I'd be glad to get with you, number one. And number two is hit the subscribe button to the right of your screen here, and the notification bell to the right of the subscribe button. We'll get back with you. And number three is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and hit the bar at the top. This is Apply With Us. You get questions, fill those out. Hit that bottom button that says Send It To Us, and we'll get back with you and solve whatever problem it is, whether you want to get a second passport or if you want to lower your taxes to zero or whatever. And I'll look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.